Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another broadcast. Today I want to talk about Secret Empire number 8 and Captain America number 25, or more specifically, that time that an entire summer event was settled by a Deus Ex Machina who literally vomits our hero's salvation. Here's the deal. This video is going to be an hour unless I get to the point, so here it is. For months now, Secret Empire's Hydra Cap and the heroes were in a race to find shards of the cosmic cube so they could combine them all to set reality straight. If you're invested in the story, you've wanted to know how the heck the heroes are going to overcome the odds. If you're not invested in the story because of ham-fisted politics jammed into it by Nick Spencer and company, just know that Hydra Cap gives a war speech that steals from Ronald Reagan's peace through strength and Donald Trump's calls for law and order and authority. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but we also get an image of the Kingpin that looks to me like it was tweaked to give off a Trump-like appearance, but I'm willing to be convinced otherwise, but I digress. Anyway, it turns out that after Sam Wilson gives a speech that magically instills heroes with hope, they assist in a prison break where an Inhuman that was introduced at the start of the series makes another appearance. He can visualize anything in his mind and then vomit it into existence as long as it's for a good cause. And AI Tony has him puke up a missing shard of the cosmic cube. I'm not joking. And then Sam Wilson takes it into battle for all the chips, Vegas style. He is shot through the heart by Hydra's version of an F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, or take your pick of modern fighter jets. But as he sinks to the bottom of the ocean, he holds on to the cube that Spencer's Deus Ex Barfina gave him, and he wishes for a miracle. Anything your heart desires will come to you. And cue the victory, baby. Quasar wakes up from a coma, and the dark bubble over New York is released. We didn't get the God in the machine to save the day, but we did have the God in the barf, which weirdly negates the emotions you were supposed to feel about the heroes learning to be heroes again because they didn't really do anything. It was basically a magic cube of vomit. This, of course, brings me to my second point. I referenced Pinocchio earlier, and it should be noted that AI Tony wishes at some point that he was a real person, but it doesn't work. But my point here is that Secret Empire is like AI Tony. It's a fake imitation of a heroic tale. Outwardly, it looks heroic, just as AI Tony in his Iron Man armor gives off the illusion that he's the real deal, but he's not. Inside AI Tony's armor and inside Secret Empire, there is just a hollow void of information that mimics A, Tony Stark, and B, the pathos of an epic tale. If you want any further proof that Nick Spencer kind of hates superhero tales and has nothing but disdain for the readers, if you doubt Diversity in Comics' conclusion before this all went down that the series is a giant whoopee cushion, if you doubt my analysis that this is Nick Spencer's secret lecture for those who are not astute enough to get it, all you have to do is look to the character who is literally called Barf. Nick Spencer hates superheroes so much that he created a Deus Ex Barfina to move the plot forward. For 8 issues, we've heard talk about hope, remembering what it means to be a hero, but he couldn't figure out for the life of him how to make the heroes overcome evil without the aid of the God in the barf literary device. And for all those readers who will cheer him on, deep down he's laughing at you because you will literally and figuratively cheer anything he vomits onto the page. So is Secret Empire any good? Here's an analogy that I came up with last weekend. Imagine you're in a Twilight Zone-ish universe where you make a joke with a friend over dinner about that feeling of relief you get after puking. You go home to your apartment and feel sick. Suddenly you come down with what you think is food poisoning. You begin throwing up, and then throughout the night, and then the next day, with brief periods of relief just like you normally would. You try to call for help, but the phone is dead. You try and leave your house, but the door is locked. You can't break the windows, and when you scream, no one hears you. You're trapped, but for some weird reason, you never become too dehydrated, and your toilet keeps flushing away. This goes on for months, and at some point in time, you marvel at the perversity of the situation. You appreciate the bizarre set of circumstances that have come together to allow this nightmare to happen, all while wishing it to end. Then, one day you hear a knock at the door, and you open it. A neighbor asks if you're okay, and after you say you're starting to feel better, you ask what day it is. He tells you, and it turns out that months have passed, but mysteriously everything is fine. No one noticed you were absent, the world kept turning, and all your coworkers and family act as if you haven't been gone for a day. You go on with your life knowing that the foul episode really happened, but happily go about your life. You will forever wonder why it all went down the way it did, and you resign yourself to the fact that maybe the answers will never come. It was fascinating and painful all at the same time, but in your heart you feel as though it never needed to be that way. Welcome to the Spencer Zone. Anyway, that's about it for now, but as always, I want to hear what you have to say. Sound off on Barf, AI Pinocchio Tony, Deus Ex Machinas, and anything else related to Secret Empire in the comments section below. And as always, if you've liked what you've seen here, then head on over to douglasernst.blog for more coverage just like this. See you next time.